I still get nervous doing this shit. But I forget about how nervous you may be, or the guest may be. And I know you're going to say, I ain't nervous, I'm a Marine.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I'm nervous doing my own shit. I know how it sucks. You can talk really, but when the camera get in front of you, it's like change your whole perspective. Right. Trust me, I know how.
And then you could see, like, right next to that red, if somebody pops up, there'll be, like, a little something there, so you'll be like, oh, people are watching it.
Oh, yeah. So we can get to it.
All right, welcome back to Make Veterans Great Again. At Make Veterans Great Again, my mission is to reach out to fellow brothers and sisters in arms to conquer our mental health together and just remind everybody that they're not alone. Today, I'd like to introduce Marine Corps veteran Amoon, the spiritual savage. Welcome to the show, brother.
What up, bro? How you doing?
Good. How about you?
Doing good. Just loving today, man. Sunny day out here.
Yeah.
What's going
Another
on?
blessed day.
Another blessed day, always.
What'd you do today? Go to school?
Went to school today, ate some vegan food, and made gratitude be my attitude.
Okay, how'd you do that with your gratitude?
Today, when I wake up in the morning, I always tell myself I love myself around 25 times, and then I go, I do some yoga, then I prepare myself, and I forgive myself for all my things I have done in my life, and then I just say what I'm blessed to do every day. I'm blessed to wake up. I'm blessed for my family, my kids. I'm blessed for everything like that. So I just say what I'm blessed and what I'm grateful for, and that gives me the gratitude attitude all day because I speak that to existence.
Okay, so I've recently started to tell myself I love myself. Do you look yourself in the mirror, or do you just say it?
Now I look at myself in the mirror.
Square in the eyes?
The reason why I look at myself in the mirror is because most times we look outside the mirror, out the window, and we don't look in the mirror to face ourselves. To face yourself is hard, so just like doing what we're doing now, to be on camera, it's hard to look at yourself and you get nervous. So the more you hear yourself tell yourself, I love myself in the mirror, the better it is for your whole being. Your cells can change from that because you're speaking so much positivity, just like you're speaking to a plant. You ever heard somebody say speaking to a plant?
Yeah.
And you water the plant, but also have to speak energy into it because when you speak energy into it, it can grow.
Right.
So when you speak yourself in the mirror, you start growing and start loving yourself.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, I started to do that, and I tried my most of the time up.
Here are the people.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to. It's the mic. It picks up everything.
Okay.
If you needed to, you could turn it down.
No, you're good.
You're not still watching the live, are you?
Mm-hmm.
I think I can hear your live. Yeah.
I was just going to say, just in case that might be filtering through.
Go ahead.
All right. So yeah, I recently started to tell myself I love myself, and then I'll do like 10 quick deep breaths. Because I heard, and I haven't done the research yet, that it will help change the pathways in your brain, right?
Oh, of course.
Man, that is the craziest natural high I have ever gotten.
It's kind of like the Wim Hof method.
What's
Wim Hof is like when you really do 2 minutes worth of breathing, deep inhale, exhale, repeatedly, full. Exhale, inhale, exhale, and then you hold your breath for 30 seconds. Then do it again. Then you hold your breath for a minute. It changes your breathing. The more oxygen you get in your nose, the more you hold it, the more oxygen oxide you get in your brain and your whole body. And most people have enough nitrogen oxide. That's what they put into pre-workout.
Okay, so have you been doing this? How long have you been doing this? Breathing techniques, telling yourself you love yourself, meditation, yoga.
Okay, so the telling I love myself, I tell myself that every day. The yoga.
From when? When did you start doing it?
2 years, 3 years ago almost.
Okay.
3 years. I say 3 years.
And when did you get out of the Marine Corps?
I got the Marine Corps 2018.
So you started telling yourself you love yourself after the Marine Corps.
Yeah, after the Marine Corps. Yeah, after the Marine Corps. I wish I would have told myself then because a lot of times I think why we get neglected as veterans because they think we so hard ass and we so much a beast that we have no feelings that weighs on us totally emotionally. And then we have to deal with the world when we get out, which crumbles us even more. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have that brotherhood anymore. So that's the thing we need to tell ourselves in the military.
Yeah, I wish I was telling myself that my whole life, honestly, right? I think that's something I'm going to start instilling in my kids. Yeah. Is to have them around, at least watching me do it to myself, so then they pick up and want to do it themselves. Because if we can start them young, who knows what they'll be able to accomplish.
That's facts.
Right?
That's facts, yes.
So, speaking of kids, what was your childhood like?
What my childhood was like, honestly, my childhood was like, to be honest with you, I went to a lot of different schools. I think I went to 13 to 15 different schools. But I had a great childhood, but the lack of consistency of going to too many different schools, which affected me as I got older. You know what I'm saying? I also think that's the reason why they go to the military after a while, because it wasn't foreign to me to go to different places over and over again and don't feel nothing about it because of my childhood. So what's dark is also light. So because I was already used to moving so much, the Marine Corps transition was not easy for me for that part. You know what I'm saying? For that part was really easy for me.
Do you feel like that moving a lot as a child made it hard for you to connect on a deep level to people because you knew you were just going to pack up and move eventually?
I don't feel like it stopped me from connecting deep, because I feel like within myself I already had a lot of depthness, but no, I feel like it stopped me from building firm relationships because of it, because I was so I could disregard things and be very nonchalant at one point in my life, which wasn't good because of that.
Okay. So after high school, did you join the Marine Corps right away, or did you wait?
I was gone, yeah. So
Okay.
I graduated like 3 months. I was out of there.
Okay.
Lock, cock, ready to rock. For real.
So young, dumb, and full of
Oh yeah, you already
baby
know what
making.
it is.
What was your time like in the Marine Corps?
My time liking the Marine Corps was good, man. I seen the system. You know, it challenged you emotionally. It gives you some emotional depthness. It break you down, and build you back up. I feel like anything that's gonna be successful breaks you down and brings you back up, because you have to renew your brain. That's why sometimes when you have a job, you have the experience, but they'll pick the person that doesn't have the experience. Then do you know why they do that? The reason why they do that is because that person with experience is already prideful of their work. That person that don't have experience is out of their ego. They have no ego. They just want to learn, so you can build them the way you want to build them. So that transition to the military, they all kind of have that same mindset. So anything you do, you break down and you build back up to something stronger, just like a bone. So that's what the Marine Corps I got from the Marine Corps when I joined.
Okay. I know it wasn't all rainbows and
Oh
unicorns.
no.
So what were some adversities you had to face?
Rebellious. I was very rebellious, and I always laughed. And so I always laughed. Like, I remember it was like click pop, and I was laughing in boot camp, and it was like the screaming, the shouting. So that was a big thing. My challenge is more was being rebellious. Being rebellious because I wasn't used to a male figure telling you what to do. But that stems from childhood too, and other things that go on. Sometimes you don't have that male figure giving you authority. You be rebellious against it, because you're not hearing your mother's voice anymore. So that's why you have to have structure. And that's why I believe the Marine Corps give you structure, because of that. Right now, that's what's going on in the world right now. Is a lot of people not having they can't take authority, and authority don't mean something bad. Like I said before, I kind of talked to you before. Discipline equals freedom. Without no discipline, you're not free. But my ideology back when I was younger was different. I thought having freedom was not being disciplined. But a lack of discipline is never good for you. Discipline do equal freedom, because you're in control of what you're thinking, you're in control of your thoughts, in control of your emotions, and you can move unwavered. So I feel like that's where it came from.
So your lack of taking
Orders, yeah.
from a man. Was your father not in your life?
Oh no, my father wasn't there. My dad did his time and what he went to in prison. But no, I haven't had no really father figure. I had one, but my mom was married, but then that went away after a couple of years. Yeah.
Okay, so your mama raised you.
Oh, my mom, my aunt, my grandmother.
It takes a village, man.
Yeah,
And
it takes
knowing
a
you, it took two.
Yeah, to quadruple. Yeah, that's a true saying. And that's why parenting is so hard today, because we don't have that anymore. They just hear your voice. If your kids hear your voice all the time, they're not gonna listen. But if you have you, an aunt, a cousin is saying similar things, they can go different people and hear different perspectives. So life is all about perspectives. But when you get different perspectives saying the same thing, you more tuned to stand what they're saying. Like you don't take on what they're saying, because everybody's saying the same thing but differently, and you see them differently.
Yeah, and it means more when somebody other than your parents are telling you it, right? Like you're like, Mom, stop worrying about me.
Yeah.
But then you hear it from everybody else, and
You're
you're like,
like, man,
shit,
yeah, like, all right.
Ma, you know, Auntie said this.
Yeah.
Like,
And your mother-
I told you that
Exactly.
already.
You already know how it
100
goes.
times over.
Yes, of course.
How were you able to check your ego?
How do I check my ego? Honestly, having a long time, ask myself, how could I handle the situation better? Like it's kind of crazy to say, most geniuses ask themselves questions. They talk to themselves, because if you don't talk to yourself, you just get be distracted by the world and society. So I asked myself, checking my ego, like, okay, what can I do to get better? How can I handle this situation better? Was my tonality is messed up? What my energy defensive? Or was there a childhood trauma? Or was there a military trauma against that? Why? So why is the most important question you ask yourself? Like, why act the way I do? Why are you the way you are? You ask yourself that, you can heal yourself. Just like you talking to yourself in the mirror, you can heal yourself by asking yourself questions, because you're talking to yourselves on the cellular level. And a lot of people understand that. So to check my pride and ego, these days I ask myself what I could do better, and I learn to forgive myself, and I learn how to apologize.
Those are two hard things, especially learning how to forgive yourself, because you can apologize all day.
Yeah.
But to genuinely mean that apology, it takes a lot of work. But to forgive yourself, that's something hard.
Oh yeah, it's all gonna be hard.
But I mean, it's obviously possible, and it's definitely worth it.
But do you know what? The reason why it's hard is because really in society, like if you do something wrong, you know what you have. We all have things we have messed up and did wrong, but then the world say they forgive you, but they never don't, because you do make one mistake, they blast you forever. Yeah. But God forgives you, but the world can't. So you got to fight between the two. Like if society saying they not gonna forgive you, but then God forgives you, so you fight between the two, because most times society is in your face all the time. You know what I'm saying? So that's a hard thing. That's a hard thing for me, is forgiving myself, because what society was saying. But then they was religious. They're religious, but when religion you forgive, and you forgive because you see yourself in another person. Only reason why you can't forgive is because you don't see yourself in another person. But we all interconnected. So what's in you is in me. Just like any relationship you're in, what's in them is in you. They're a reflection. If not reflection physical, they can be a reflection emotionally, spiritually, or mentally. The unseen. So I look at those things.
Yeah, dude, I've been really diving into my spirituality and just having conversations with God every day. I would try to wake up and say, like, I'm thankful for X, Y, Z. Please continue to use me as a vessel to serve your mission. And I just talk about things. And what I've recently started doing in the past 2-3 days is just releasing everything. Like saying, God, especially like, I love you, babe, but like with my wife, right? Like when we get mad at each other or something, and I'm just so frustrated. Dude. I just want to scream. But then I'm like, what's that going to do, right? Because I heard something 2 weeks ago, and it said that nobody should be able to make you upset. Your actions are from you, not them, right? And they may be triggering something, but it's because of you you're reacting that way, right? And like that's a gut check, an ego check, right? Because for the longest time you want to be the victim and be like, it's you, it's your fault. But at the end of the day, it's also you, it's your reactions to them. And you're helping them get to the level that they're at while you're trying to beat that, if that makes sense.
It's never them, it's always you.
Right.
It always start with you. And it sounds selfish or cliche, but it always start with you, because if they say something to you and you're reacting, it's because something inside you is saying, oh, it's true. Like that's why you don't have a head feeling, you have a gut feeling, because your gut is your first brain. So you are feeling your gut, that's why you're responding. When you don't care about it or you know it's not true, you don't respond to it, because it's not what they say about you. You don't care about what they say about you. The only thing you care about is what God say about you, and God don't say that about you. Only they did. So what they say don't matter. And I figured it out for myself, and that's why I think. So what the world say about me, it may be true a year ago, but it's not true today. Right. Every day I grow more. So you don't know me. You knew me yesterday. You know me today. Something today can transition my whole mindset in 1 second, because I adapt.
That's what this podcast is here
So that's what it's about, right?
Absolutely.
So don't worry about what they say. Just worry about what God says and keep on moving.
I've been able to let go of a lot of stress and tension I was holding on to by just realizing that, right? Like realizing that society doesn't matter, dude. Nothing in life truly matters if you think about it, right? Because everybody's living their own life, and everybody has their own problems, their own worries, their own woes, right? So like a big hiccup to you is something minor that somebody's not even going to remember most of the time.
Tomorrow, but they don't remember it.
So, but then if you just be like, all right, like if I talk to God and I have my relationship with Him, then it doesn't matter what anybody else says, as long as I'm okay with it and I'm happy, and then I have that relationship with God.
Yeah.
But talking about God, I mean, I've been doing it for like the past 3 episodes, but it's kind of hard, to be honest with you, because I have that stigma in the back of my mind that people, oh God, let's turn this off, let's not talk, let's not listen, you know.
But God is love, so you know what I'm saying. Like I'm not religious. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. And people always ask me that question. I just know man-made religion. Man make everything to separate. That's why it's different between like Marine Corps, Army. It's different between Pentecostal, Seventh-day Adventist, non-denominational. Man separates, but God is one. God is love. So I know oneness. I don't have to be religious to believe in God or Yahshua, because the letter J was never made. But yeah, Yahshua. So I get what you're saying. It's hard. It's a hard thing. You know what I'm saying? But
so you said that we're all separated, right?
Yeah.
I agree with that, and that's why I'm opening up this podcast. This podcast is turning into veteran-led for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when you're on an airplane and the oxygen mask drops down, you got to put it on yourself first. So let us as veterans put the mask on and then spread through the community, and that way we'll be able to help more.
Yeah.
Right? And everybody needs help. And I'm realizing I'm so tired of niches, right? Like, niches are great. They help us get from point A to point B. But then you're stuck between A, B, because you got the walls of your niche, right? So if you open it up to everybody, you'll be able to find people that are just civilians that you can mix with and get along with as a veteran, or so on, you know?
Yeah, that's a positive thing to have, because even though a lot of veterans, we have PTSD out there, people have PTSD, period. They have childhood PTSD, relationship PTSD. We all have PTSD around here. We all have it. So a police officer, a firefighter, you know what I'm saying? So we all have PTSD. So you bring those things together, it's very powerful, because it just don't help the military community, which is what we talk about, but it help everybody else. Because I believe everybody has PTSD. What do you think a trigger is? People have triggers all the time. That's why they get mad and they blast at you. What do you call that? You call that PTSD. Once they have a trigger, it's something that makes you react off somebody saying something, or something that you see, or things like that. Because your cell has memory. That's called PTSD to me. That's my humble opinion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you still trigger, no matter what it is. I call it emotional PTSD.
What do you call like positive flashbacks? Because I feel like that is still PTSD, but it's in a positive light.
Well, I would call that. I don't know if I would call it PTSD, but I would call it your higher self. Flashes of your higher self.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not like defining it as PTSD, but what's the difference between PTSD and a good memory, right? It's just a bad experience.
It's just a bad experience. It's just what you attach to it. If you go attach. Say you had something that bad happen to your life, but then you redo that something that happened bad, you redo it, but you put a positive notation on it. It changes the whole outlook of it, because that memory is bad, but once you redo it and you put something positive to it, that old memory is kind of wiped away. It's kind of clean, like put in the trash. Now we think about it. Guess what? You don't think about the bad thing. You think about something that happened positive. So if we can get to a state of military people, regular people, anybody, is find out what their bad things that happen to them, and go attach a positive thing to them. Guess what? We can heal a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we just change our mindset, we can heal ourselves in a sense, right? I will always say that everybody would benefit from seeing a therapist at some point in time in their life.
Always.
Or throughout their life, honestly.
Yes.
It's always good to have like that third party, non-biased, that will just listen or help you figure things out, right? Don't get me wrong, there are some bad therapists out there, so like it's not all good things, right? But it's very beneficial, especially when you find the right one for you.
Facts. And not just listening too, because anybody can listen to you. It's kind of how you're gonna get to A, B, D, Z, how you're gonna get all the way through the process. Somebody can listen to you, but it have to be for every action, or whatever reaction is a reaction. For a reaction is an action. Polar opposites. So you have to go have a step. You can listen to all day, give you things, but they didn't give you exercises. One time I had a therapist, you know what I'm saying? And they gave me exercises. They told me, write every person down that you feel like has done you wrong, and then ask yourself why. And I had to write that down. And it was a couple people, you know what I'm saying? But it was an action that made me think, you know what I'm saying? What childhood memories I had that I thought was real bad. It put it in front of my face if I can realize, if I can cry. Because crying is healing. I cried, and then I let that feeling go. Because crying is just releasing trauma. So that's why it's okay to cry. At one point, I thought crying was for bullshitters and widows and shit like that. But that's not the truth. Crying is healing for the soul. That's why you feel good after you cry. And you go to sleep. You haven't slept in years. You cry, they went to sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Crime's like the purge.
It's like the purge.
You're purging out all the toxins, all the negativity in you. But if you don't continue to address that, it's going to keep building back up until you explode. And I'm tired of exploding, so that's why I've been like working hard. And for the longest time, I'd go to therapy and I would never do my homework. And the therapist and I were both like, why am I still here? Like, nothing's happening. Nothing's changing, right?
Yeah.
But it's on me at the end of the day, because you have to do that homework, or there's no point, right? That's just like me saying I go to the gym once a month and I don't have a six-pack yet.
Yeah.
You know? So
because most people we lack consistency.
yeah. Consistency and routine. I lacked routine for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm finally getting back into a routine, and life just feels better. It
does.
feels easier. It's
does.
still hard, but it's easier because I know what I'm doing.
Because you're planning, you know what I'm saying? Preparation is key, so that's great.
That's part of the reason I wanted out of the Marine Corps. I wanted my freedoms back, right? But all those things I wanted back were actually bad for me.
Yeah.
Like
People say I want to get out of smoke weed. That's like smoke. That's not bad about the smoking, but they say I want to get out because I want to do this with a girlfriend or this and this and that. But then they get out and that shit dissipates, so it's gone. So nobody, you gotta really think about that. The Marine Corps was like cool, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, the Marine Corps was a blessing, and what we didn't realize is the group therapy that we had daily.
Oh yeah, different.
Daily.
And the different mentors you had,
Yeah.
no matter what color it was, you know what I'm saying?
Doesn't matter what color, doesn't matter where they grew up.
Nothing.
Dude, it was great because you just met people from everywhere.
The camaraderie.
And you could pick and choose what somebody offered that you wanted to use in your life or that you wanted to stay away from.
A fact.
And
That's a
it
fact.
like helps you grow as a person if you're strong enough and willing to look at it that way.
Yeah, that's
Because a
true.
lot of times it's just a check in the box and you're just going through the routine
Going
because
through
you
the
know the
motions.
routine and you're just trying to make it to the end. And you get to the end and you're excited. It lasts for like a month and then you're like, well, fuck, now what? You have no one telling you what to do. You don't have that paycheck anymore.
And nobody pushing you.
Absolutely. Like, I was no longer forced to stay in shape, so I became a shape.
We'll get you back right there, you heard? We'll get you right back, brother.
So, speaking about the Marine Corps, what made you decide to get out?
What made me decide to get out, really, because I didn't like where it was heading at one point, where the Marine Corps was heading. Also because, like you kind of said, I wanted some type of freedom, but when I got out, that freedom wasn't there.
Right.
It was just a lack of discipline in my head. So that's why I got the Marine Corps. Those things I didn't like. Like I said, I didn't like where it was headed with that some things was mixed, and I just keep it like that, keep it very brief. And then the ego is that the one that we have discipline. But what I did have the Marine Corps was discipline. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I feel like I could have changed more young dudes' lives if I would have stayed in because I never was a rank. I was a man first.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't on me. It wasn't on me. It was in me. You know who I was. So like the uniform, it was in me. I didn't just take it off. It was in me. So I could have helped more people out and more young dudes that grew up like me in the Marine Corps if I would stayed in. So I do think about that sometimes because who I am today at 34 years old.
But so we'll just stay along that God has a reason for everything we do, right?
Yeah, of course.
Your mission was over in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And you are now going to be able to help and serve more of the younger generation while being out. You can
Yeah.
mentor the dudes that think what we just talked about, like can't wait to get out so I can smoke, so I can do this, so I can do that.
I told
but
my
you
cousin
can
that.
listen here, bro, it's not like that.
It's
right?
not like that. Yeah, because they have the foggy shades on. They're looking at the social media, the Instagram and all that. They friends did a weekend. They think that that's their life. They friends life every day, but that's a myth. They working a 9 to 5 or they doing their thing, entrepreneurship, whatever it may be. But guess what? They're not living that every day.
Right.
They actually wish they were living your life because you in Okinawa, you in Frankfurt, Germany, you went to the military, did some cool shit. You in San Diego, you know what I'm saying? You're doing different things. So we always want what we see, but not grateful for what we have.
Yeah, like I heard that saying that the grass is greener on the other side. That's not fucking true. The grass is greener where you water it.
Exactly.
And so you said,
I got a bar for that too. It's crazy you say that. Is the grass is not greener? Also, is where you're standing at because where you stand at, you're killing the grass. You gotta keep on evolving and walking to keep the water, keep it green. Yeah, keep it green. Yeah, for real.
Okay, I like that. But so did you check the serious checking of your ego? Did you do that once you've gotten out then?
No, I did that in the Marine Corps. I remember I had a staff sergeant. His name's Staff Sergeant Kano, and he told me when I deployed, but he was like, you going through the motions. You can you can be so much better, but you just chilling, riding your time out. He was like, why not you? I said, what you mean now, why not me? In my head, I was on parade rest. I said, what you mean, why not me? He was like, you're one of the best motherfucking Marines here, and you just lollygagging and going through emotion because of your ego and your pride. Sometimes you gotta play the game to win. You gotta know the rules to beat the game. And the Marine Corps got rules and games. So you have to know the rules to beat any game. This not chess. This not checkers, it's chess. So I thought about that night, and I was like, why not me? If anybody gonna be doing anything, why not me? Why let somebody else do it when God gave me 5 fingers, not 5 fingers, but 10 toes, 10 fingers? Why not me? So that day I checked my ego and said, stop getting out of my own way, especially in the Marine Corps. Stop get out of my own way. And I end up getting a NAM and everything for that, like extra little things here and there, recommendations and stuff like that. So I got my own way. I had to check my ego and said, I didn't come on this earth to not be the best version of myself. I ain't come here to be just general population. I ain't go to the Marine Corps the best fucking fighting force to be general population, just not doing nothing. So anything I do, I need to give my all to it. So he said that, it just like slapped me in the back of my head, and I was like, why not me? And I went on my way, and I got my NAM, and I did what I needed to do.
Awesome, that's great. What was the hardest part about the transition for you?
Transition is, I'm gonna lie, and most military people say that, it's people, man. People complain all the time. I think that's the biggest thing, is the complaining of others. You know what I'm saying? And we all live different lives, so there's no shade to them. But just the complaining, it's not. It's like you talking to your boss and you complaining, but you don't come and complain and have a solution. So when you complain and have a solution, I don't call it complaining. I call it that you're trying to help yourself out. You know what I'm saying? So when I got being a civilian, I'm not a civilian, never a civilian, but when I got at the Marine Corps, I started seeing that people complain, but they don't do nothing about it. It's no action afterwards. It's like, what do I need to do? Did you try this? Did you try this? Did you try that? You know why people want to try? Because they scared of failure. You only have to hear yes one time. So that being said, it's because people are scared of failure. That's why they don't try nothing, which used to get on my nerves. So that's one of the biggest transitions. That
was definitely one of my biggest fears, is like failure, right? With this podcast, bro, like I knew I could be where I'm at today, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, it's scary. And it's like, dude, what if I do fail? But like, what if I do fail? Nothing's gonna happen. I'm gonna wake up and take that failure as a learning lesson, and move forward
and make it better.
Absolutely. What was the best part about the transition?
Honestly, it was no best transition.
Okay.
It was no best transition because for me, when you about to get out the military, they give you that class to go through. That, you know, that bullshit ass like week class you go through, the TRS shit, and you go through that, and it's too fast to comprehend. It's too fast to comprehend. So there's a lot of bars and nuggets they give you. You're not gonna remember that. So they should make it a month, like a 2 week, like at least a month class to go to. You know what I'm saying? At least 3 times a week. Not even the whole time, but at least 3 times a week, because you can't regurgitate all that shit they tell you there. You know what I'm saying? So you get out and you confused, and then you go try to talk to other people and they bullshit you, and then now you're going through the ringer to try to learn how to get your housing. You know what I'm saying? How to get help, how to get dental and all that, because it's so fast. So they should slow that shit down. They said fast is slow, slow is fast, but slow is smooth too. So we gotta use that. You know what I'm saying?
Say it again. Slow is smooth.
Slow is fast. Slow is fast. Fast is slow.
Okay. I know it as slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Yeah. Well, same shit, different day.
To each their own, right?
To each his own. Yeah.
Tomato.
You heard?
So how long do you feel like you? Well, let me ask first. Do you feel like you struggled at all when you were transitioning out?
I still struggle sometimes.
Okay.
It's an ongoing thing, because, you know what I'm saying, you can't speak the truth really out here in society without getting lynched. So, you know what I'm saying, and I feel like in the Marine Corps, and I think most services, you can speak your mind and don't get in trouble for the most part. Like, you can, for the most part. Back when I was there, you can speak your mind. Debatable. Well, I can speak my mind then and don't get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? But now I feel like it's just more of a, it's more civilianized right now. I don't even know if that's a word, but it's more civilian-like now. So
it's more detrimental to your civilian life.
Yeah. Like, if you getting right now in the military, if you going under stress, you can pull out a card and say that you're stressed and all that. But that's not training you to be successful. When you're in Afghanistan, or Iraq, or Syria, wherever the case may be, you won't have a card to pull out. So you have to train yourselves to adapt. And what Marines are great at is what? Adapting. So, and that's why we have so much anxiety and things out here today, because it's not that we not supposed to go through things. Even the Bible says go up. We have valleys and we have mountaintops, valleys and mountaintops. But that being said, we have to adapt and get our cellular structure to get used to that. And that's how we get better. Just like working out. You work out, you get stronger and stronger by going through what? Tension.
Okay.
You get stronger by tension.
So what tools have you used to help make it easier, or make being in the civilian world smoother for you?
Smoother for me is not trying to, but following my purpose.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Most times we get out, we're not knowing our purpose. We know what society has subscribed us to, or what our parents have gave us as a footing to be. So just really find out what your purpose is. Like, your purpose is doing this. You know what I'm saying? And how you know it's your purpose? Because you'll do it for free.
Right.
You do it for free.
Absolutely.
And the most thing you talk about easily is your purpose, like nutrition and spirituality, emotional, mental, and physical. The things I talk to you about all the time. I know this is part of my purpose because I talk about it so much. I always talk about the unseen things first. You know what I'm saying? I don't see with these two eyes. I see with this eye right here. So, knowing your purpose is gonna make the whole transition easily, because you're just not in a GPS. You have an address to go to. You know what I'm saying? You're just not driving around with nothing to go to.
When you were getting out, did you have a plan?
I did not have a plan. I thought I had a plan. I said, let's go to school and let's do that. But the reason why I went to school the first time was because my aunt told me I should go to school. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to go to school when I was in school. So that wasn't the best thing. But like even now I'm in school today and I'm passing all my classes. I got number A's because I wanted to go. So my things for the people out there, do the fuck you want to do. Do what you want to do, because when you do what you want to do, guess what? It feels right to you. When you do it for somebody else, it's the fabric is different. The cloth is different. They got wool. You talking about silk.
I feel like when you're doing it for someone else, you don't care if you fail.
No, just like your sneakers.
You're just there.
If I bought you sneakers and I stepped on them, you'll be kind of mad, but you know what I'm saying? You be like, shit, I ain't buying. I ain't spent $250 for these Jordans. But if you buy it yourself,
calling me out over
yeah,
here.
I'm just saying. But if you buy it yourself, you'll appreciate it more.
Yeah.
So it's more about appreciation more than anything else.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I believe that since I didn't have a plan, it definitely made. Let me rephrase that. I did have a plan. I wanted to become a cop when I got out.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only reason I didn't is because my brother convinced me to buy a dirt bike, and the first time I rode that bitch, I crashed it at the end of the day and separated my shoulder and had to have surgery. And then I just gave up on that, right?
Okay.
But I think that was another blessing, right? Because if I would have become a cop, I never would have been where I'm at today. And I say, this is how I got over my lack of self-esteem, or whatever you want to call it, for being in the Marine Corps, right? I feel like I failed. I didn't see war. I didn't do anything. But at the end of the day, I'm learning. I'm learning.
Signed up.
Right. I'm learning that God's purpose for me of joining the Marine Corps wasn't to serve in combat, but it was to come back home and fight the war that we don't see.
And serve people that was in combat as well. Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's great. That's real great.
So, what are you doing now?
What I'm doing now, I just started right now. I'm in school, get my nutrition entrepreneur bachelor's degree. Then the second thing I'm doing a whole bunch. The second thing I'm doing is my YouTube channel, Amoon, Amoon, Razen, Razen, and that's the things I'm doing right now. I'm a detox therapist. I got a detox therapist certification this summer to help people detox correctly. And those are three things I'm doing the most right now, because I'm going to interconnect all of them.
Can you clarify the detox? Are you talking about food, drugs, what?
All of it. You have the spiritual detox, and you have the emotional detox, you have the mental detox, and you have the physical detox. Spiritual detox is basically saying that, okay, you know how people subscribe, some people grew up Christian, but that's not what they really want to be. You know what I'm saying? So you have to find out who you are spiritually first. Emotionally, things you went through, you have to detox that. You know what I'm saying? You can go have screaming therapy. You ever heard that before?
Yeah.
You go in a room and you scream, or people in the mountain scream. You know how much anxiety and pressure they get out by doing that?
Yeah.
Because your tongue is the most powerful thing. It has energy. Energy is never destroyed or created. It's only transferred. So you're giving out all that negative energy by screaming and making yourself feel better. That's why you never withhold how you feel about things, because it builds in you. Then they make you sick on a cellular level. That's why people get cancer and stuff like that. So detox is all over. And also with food too. Yeah.
Okay. So are you looking for a free patient?
Free patient. Free patient.
I'll help you build your YouTube,
man. That's
I'll be
fine.
your
I got
YouTube.
you, bro. I got you. You know how I go.
Okay. I should really take you up on that, though.
Yeah. So yeah, detoxing, man, because we don't. Food is so much like food. Music is like culture, straight up. Food is something that we have to look at. You know what I'm saying? The highest food that has the highest energy is what? Foods that's in the sky, like coconut or dates. You know why they have the most energy? Because they closest to the what? The sun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, damn, train of thought gone.
That's all good.
Right? But, tell me a little bit more about yourself. What do you want to touch on right now?
We can touch on anything. Like,
How did you become a spiritual savage?
How did I become a spiritual savage? I became a spiritual savage because, like, I always had a savage thing about me, like like very aggressive, but chill, but still aggressive. Like I smile a lot, but you can't push me over. And spiritually, how I became who I was, is just going through certain things, and ask myself why. You know what I'm saying? I always like research things, look at numbers, 777. If things come by me like deja vu about what that means. So it's kind of already embedded in me. And then finding out, number one thing, find out who you are. Like I found out I'm related to Ramesses III, the pharaoh.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that was a pharaoh. So what's in him is in me. Just like your looks come down, be passed through your DNA, your trauma's passed down through your DNA. Guess what? Your greatness is passed down through your DNA. So when you know, like, okay, I'm have the DNA of a pharaoh. Look what he did. What's in me is in him, so I can do it. So I start researching that. You know what I'm saying? And that helped me out a lot.
So how do you have any tools or tricks or tips to give me on how to define who I am more frequently? Like, for the longest time I can remember, like, somebody would ask me, like, who are you? Like, what do you like? And I'm like, I don't know. I had no idea who I was. I'm figuring it out now, but I don't do anything to devote time to focusing on it.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Not intentionally.
Yeah, that's when it's when you unintentionally doing that. That's who you are, because you're not making nothing up. Like who you are today, to me, my humble opinion, is this. This is who you are.
Who's that?
Who you are. You're a podcaster. You will help the world. Okay. You help the world share their voice. That's who you are. And you give somebody a platform and opportunity to even do that, to talk. That's who you are.
Keep boosting my head up.
Now it's not boosting your head. It's just is what it is.
My pride.
No,
I appreciate it.
But I see you because I can look at you all day. I see you. I told you when I met you, I see you. And because I feel people. Energy is my first language. I feel energy before anything. Before anybody talk, energy, vibration. If you're negative, you'll speak it anyways. Your tongue, you'll speak negativity. I know that, but I can feel it too. That's why some animals, they stay away from some certain people, because the negative energy, they don't want to be around that. So you always have positive energy. In my book, and who you are is this. You came to me and talked to me when I met you in February about this same thing today. Make veterans great again. And guess what you're doing now in August? Making veterans great again. So this is who you are. You already putting the time into it. You just gotta monetize it and put it to a laser focus. But you already doing what you need to be doing, baby.
No, I get that, but I'm asking to to define yourself, so you know, like, do you do anything? Like, do you write? Do you journal about it? Do you pray about it? Do you talk about it?
You gonna pray about things that you want to do. Like define. You don't need to be defined. If you want to be defined, it's because you're looking for the outsource to define you. I shouldn't be able to define you. You define yourself. Like, who is Josh? Who is Josh?
I know who I'm turning into.
Yeah.
And I know I've always been this person.
Yeah.
But, we all go through things, and I've allowed those things to shut me into a shell.
Yeah.
And to a point where I thought I couldn't be anybody. I couldn't be social without drinking, right? I haven't drank since December 31st of last year.
Okay.
So, and I'm fucking talking to you inside of a lobby as people walk by us, right? So obviously I could talk to people without being drunk.
Yeah, you can. You definitely can.
But I like more one-on-ones because I feel energy too, and I I feel like people are more real and genuine on one-on-ones. When there's a group, somebody's always trying to appease somebody else or acting a certain way for the crowd, right?
Because they don't know themselves.
Right.
The only reason why, only way you will know yourself is spend some alone time to yourself. Isolation. Why do you think a lot of yogis, shamans, even Joshua himself, when he was tired of people, what did he go do? Go pray away from everybody else.
Okay.
How can you hear God's voice if you're around everybody all the time? And that's what's wrong with us today as society. Is because we're around everybody all the time. We don't go spend time to ourselves. If you ask yourself how many hours you spend alone to yourself, it's not a lot.
Yeah.
But it's 164 hours in a week. You can't give yourself an hour.
Right.
But you want to hear God's voice. The only way you will hear God's voice and hear yourself, which is your higher self, is being alone. But most people are scared to be what? Alone.
Absolutely. You can tell that when people get out of relationships and they're right back in another one because they don't know how to be alone.
Yeah.
It's like they fucking were shopping around before they exited, you know? I do, so I know one of my unhealthy coping mechanisms has been food, right? So how do you detox out of that?
Well, I think everybody's food, even me, I love to eat food, even healthy food, you know what I'm saying? How do you get out of that? First of all, you gotta recognize the root, like when do you eat the most?
Junk food.
So when do you eat the most?
Oh, when?
Yeah.
Probably at night when I'm home bored.
See, when you're bored.
Complacency.
You know, it's complacent when you're bored. So you gotta figure out, okay, I'm bored, that's why I eat the most. Then you gotta replace that with something else, or replace it with a healthier option. So if I'm gonna eat at night, let me have some fruit. Have some pineapple, papaya, and all that ready for me. So I know I'm gonna eat at night anyways.
Yeah. Yep, gone again. I love my memory, bro. It's getting better. It's getting better, but
it is.
you know, I'm like a squirrel, and when people walk by, I see it and like distracts me a little bit. So I'm working on my focus.
Yeah, it's like a focus. I said something today about focus. I said to myself, I just said to the guys, like, I said, I know the girl back there looked nice, but keep on walking forward, because if you look back at her, you're showing her that you have no discipline and you lack focus. Keep on, nothing good is the back of you. That's why God put you to walk forward.
Okay.
Walking forward for a reason, or you have feet walking backwards to do a 360. You can't do that for a purpose.
Yeah. So can you walk me through a detox that you would have for me, right? Off the top of your head, I'm sure you need to do research and work and shit.
First of all, before the detox,
you want me to fucking fast? And I know
no, but
no.
like I said, you get into God, but God, what did God do?
He fasted.
Okay, exactly. So people always say that they want to be God-like and walk in His name, but they'll never fast. So that's not true.
Okay, I have a question. I had an old boss who did like a month fast, I want to say it was.
I did a month, yeah.
Right. But he was able to eat like broth or something.
Yeah.
So when you did your fast, were you solely drinking water, or?
But his fast probably wasn't specifically made for him. It wasn't tailor made. I would go get your urine sample. I would swab your mouth, see your acidity rate or your alkaline rate, and then I would go and see what that happens. And then I can do an analysis in your eyes, your face, and everything about you, and then I will make it off of that. I'm gonna make it because your fast and his fast will be two different. My fast will be different because my body is different than yours. So you have to make a fast specifically for the person, but not only the foods or the juicing or the water or whatever the case may be. All, like I said, I don't only want to do that. I want to do spirit, emotional, mental, and then the physical fast. Because while all of them, even if you fasted, you lost weight. If your emotions are fucked up, guess where you'll go back to? Emotionally eating.
Yeah.
If your mental is weak, guess where you'll go back? Eating. So that all has to be cleansed. All of it.
So what you're saying is you want to make a YouTube series out of me?
We could do it. You know what I'm saying? Day one, Josh. Yeah, we could do it.
Yo, I'll commit to it.
I told you, I've been telling you that for a minute.
I know, but I haven't said I committed, and I just said live on air. I commit.
People hold them accountable. You heard? Hold them accountable.
So how long would you be? Doing a fast sounds scary, though, right? Like going without food for like.
Why does it sound scary?
Because I love to eat.
Okay, I got a question. And people in Vegas, right? And people drink the whole 3 days, probably ate once.
But they were preoccupied with alcohol.
Yeah, because they was preoccupied with distractions. But as soon as you put intentionality on something, it shows the universe, it shows God if you're serious. Once you say, okay, I'm going to fast, and I'm going to do it for this amount of time, it's going to become harder. It should become harder because you're making a commitment to yourself. So if you don't do it, guess what? You lack commitment to yourself. You don't need to be what you say you're going to be.
And letting down yourself is the worst feeling.
It is
ever.
because you have to go deal with it in a day.
Every day you have to look at that's why you don't look in the mirror, because you always let yourself down.
Exactly.
Not you specifically, right? But
I let
I'm
myself
sure
down
there's been
too.
times.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to the gym one day at 4:30. I got there at 5. Did I lie to myself? I lied. But I said, yes, I lied to myself. I'm gonna say, oh, it's just 30 minutes. I'm gonna make no excuses for myself. I say I did lie to myself, but I'm gonna do better this week, tomorrow.
Do you still celebrate your small win though, that you still made it to the gym even though it wasn't on time?
No, I don't celebrate it. I don't celebrate it because you're celebrating something that you're being lukewarm. You're being lukewarm. And the Bible says you're lukewarm, I spit you out. No, while I'm celebrating myself, I say I'm gonna get there at 4:30 or before.
Okay.
Even half obedience is disobedient. Even half doing something is still not fully doing it.
Right.
We just try to make way for everybody.
Okay.
Half doing something is still a lie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm out make that's half doing something that's never good.
So it's all or
So
nothing.
you're not half doing this. You fully committed right now. 420 every Wednesday. You
Yes,
doing
sir.
something, yoga, puff and pull, we all
Paint.
yeah, all puff and paint. Shout out to my girl, puff and paint. Yeah, puff and paint. You doing all that. So like you're committed.
Right.
You're not half doing this because it's part of your heart, it's part of your soul.
Yeah, dude, I have visions, bro. We're going this podcast, this
Yeah.
platform. We're going.
You already know. I believe you. I told you I believe when I see you.
Since when I first met you, right? I met you at the MVP event.
Exactly.
So it was like professional athletes and veterans.
Yeah.
And then,
That's what happened. Yeah.
yeah, dude, we just clicked right then and there.
Yeah.
And it's always been positive since then. Like
Always.
I'm the calm person, but you got this hyped energy. And
Yeah.
it's like,
It's the fruits, bro.
yeah, I like being calm. That's your energy, and I'm happy for you.
I do both though. Sometimes
Yeah.
you gotta catch me on both
You know,
ways.
sometimes.
Yeah, when I do yoga, I'm like very chill, but I want to keep positive energy. That's who I am. So
Yeah.
it's just what it is.
That's what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be positive every day, no matter what.
It's not
But-
happening every day, but it's a choice. You can let it happen for a second, or happen for a minute, or happen for a whole day. You try not to let something happen for a whole day. You let somebody say something to you for 1 minute, make you mad for a whole day, and mess up your whole day. I think that's silly.
Yeah, and I was the person that would allow that to happen, right?
Yeah.
But I am working on now. It is a challenge, but I am fighting it head on. That
Yeah.
like, you know, struggles at home sometimes.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
the wife
always.
pisses you off after you
Always.
pissed her off. So
Always.
like, you're in the car driving, white knuckles, the steering
Yeah.
wheel, wanting to scream, but then like, why? So then I haven't like intentionally asked myself why, like you were saying, like look at yourself and ask why, right?
Right? Why does it make me angry?
But then I start to think about it, and like for the longest time, when you get pissed off, all your coping tools that you know that will pull you out of it, you
Go out the
have
window.
no desire to do that shit, man.
Yeah.
And like looking at yourself and telling yourself, I love myself, when you're mad at yourself, it's like, I know I'm lying.
Let's go for a drive or
But
something.
eventually, those lies are going to become real.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I love myself every day,
And say that. Yeah.
even when I don't.
Say it. Say I love myself. Because you can't give love. You only give love to much love you have for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you love yourself a little bit, but you say I love you a lot. That's a lie. That's not an exchange you can give. You gotta love yourself a lot so you can show someone else love. And I was like that at one point.
And you got to show yourself love so your spouse and kids can love you. Because if you can't love yourself, how are they going to be able to love
Yeah,
you?
they don't see it. Like my kids they see me work out. They see me. I went running today. I lied to myself. I was supposed to go to the gym at 4:30. I didn't go to the gym at 4:30 because I was tired, and I just couldn't get up. But guess what I did? I ran 3 miles at 7 o'clock in it's hot weather here, and I did what I needed to do. You know what I'm saying? But I still did something, which is okay. But I showed them that I try to eat healthy as best I can. You know what I'm saying? I'm not eating tofu and all that. I'm eating fruits and vegetables. They see me prepare. They see me juice. So something about what I'm doing is going to click to them one day. Like, my sons take ginger shots and eat dates. I didn't know what a damn date was until 2 to 3 years ago.
Right.
He knows what a date is. Dad, they don't have a date. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy what our kids know that we never knew, or up until we're like now in our 30s, right?
Yeah, it's an example.
But,
You know what I'm saying?
you know, it's amazing how smart and how fast they are and how quick they pick things up.
Yeah.
which you got to pay attention to because there's a lot of negative things that they pick up.
They pick up everything.
Absolutely. It's not like they're just picking, oh, let's just pick the positive dad traits. Nope. They're picking the bad dad traits and everything. Okay, thank you. Do you have any saved rounds? Anything I missed?
I'll say rounds, not too much, man. Just like honestly, just the biggest thing you can do is be yourself. Have positive people around you that's going to challenge you. It's going to also check you. It's not going to let you sit and be in one place. Be around people that's going to speak positively to you and not negativity. And always just show respect and show love to people, man. Show gratitude, even to your spouse, to your person that you with. You know what I'm saying? Or your friends. You know what I'm saying? We always say we don't have time, but we do have time. We just have to prioritize correctly.
Right.
And we're going to prioritize correctly. Guess what? Our life is in chaos. So don't be in chaos. Show gratitude. Let that be the attitude. Love, peace, and tranquility. Keep on going.
All right. I do have a question. I want to know. What is your nighttime routine like? At what point do you stop watching TV, stop going on your phone? Do you cut that off before you go to bed, or are you on that shit sleeping?
So my nighttime routine, 7:30, I stop, unless I gotta do homework, which I gotta do tonight. But at 7:30, I stop everything. I have my little tea, my rosemary tea, my thyme tea, or my guinea hen wheat tea. I drink my tea. Then I watch this channel about me kind of doing yoga. I do yoga for like 20, 30 minutes, and then I take a shower. Then I read or something like that, and then I go to sleep. Before I go to sleep, I prepare my day for the next day. I say I'm gonna wake up.
Your day?
Yeah, I plan my day.
Okay.
Like, okay, I already have my shoes, my shorts, my t-shirt, my socks right by the door for me to go to the gym. I already made my shake in the morning time, and have my fruit already ready, so I can wake up for success. So I wake up, do that, have that going, and then I just prepare for the rest of my day. I gotta do this homework, gotta do this. But I make a hierarchy. What is priority, what's middle, and what can be pushed to the next day if I need to, and that's how I go. That's how I do it. So if the last thing needs to be pushed to the next day, that last thing go on my priority list. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you prepare your day with a hierarchy, like your family, you can get shit done quicker, better.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we do,
like that.
sometimes we do things that's on the D list first, and the A list get what's the word? Get abandoned.
Put
You know
on
what
the
I'm
back
saying?
burner.
On the back burner. You do A list, B, then C. That's the reason why it's in order.
Okay. So I like that routine. We started my 3-year-old on a routine, but I don't have a routine for myself. So like, what am I doing? So I'm gonna get on that soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, brother, I really appreciate you being on the show.
problem,
How
bro.
can people find you again?
They can find me on YouTube, Amoon, Razen, AMOON, space RAZEN. And it's the same thing on Instagram. You can find me there. And also, braveandspiritual.com is my clothing line, Brave and Spiritual. You can find me on there too as well. So thank you. Appreciate you, Josh. Much love. You my brother. Always solid, one love. And then we out.
So at the end of the show, I make everyone stand up and give me a hug, all right? So
Alright,
I appreciate you. I love you, man, and thanks. I look forward to doing this fast with you. Love you too, man.